Hello. This year, as we get to this last Sunday in November, we call it the Feast of Christ the King. Every year towards this time we celebrate this feast. It's the last Sunday of the Church's year because the Church's year begins with the season of Advent, the preparation for Christmas, which starts not this Sunday but next Sunday. We call this week the Feast of Christ the King. In a way, it's a bit of an anachronism. It's something not of our time. But we sort of get the idea of what it means to think about Jesus as a king. Or do we? I think there are perhaps two lenses that can help us to think about Jesus as king. And one of them is the stable at Bethlehem and the other is the cross. These are quite counter to the world's view of privilege and elite power that kingship normally conveys. For us, we see the king born not in a palace but in a stable. We see the king enthroned not on a golden throne, but his throne is the cross of Calvary. The question we might ask ourselves this week is, how does this speak to my life? How might you do this? Picture yourself at the stable in Bethlehem. Where do you see yourself? Who do you identify with? Are you one of the players there? Are you Mary? Are you Joseph? Are you Jesus himself? Are you one of the shepherds? Or are you just standing by watching what is going on? As you look at what's happening in this stable, what does it say to your life about the way God responds to the world and about the way you're invited to participate in the world? I don't want to really tell you what the answer is, because there isn't an answer. What we need to do is to allow this rich story of the birth of the Word of God into the world, the Word of God becoming flesh, is there to speak to us about the way we are called to respond in this universe in which we find ourselves. Likewise, we can also look at the cross. Where do we place ourselves in that? Often when I'm feeling flat and depressed and I'm not sure which way I am to go, or I want to get close to Jesus, I know there is one place that I can get close to Jesus, and that is on the cross. This is both in the imagination and also in the heart, but it is also one of the stories of our universe. It is something that conveys the universal truth of what it means to be human. You have to enter into it. Where do you place yourself in the story of the cross? There are many rich places that the cross can speak to our lives. Are we Peter, watching this from a distance, wondering about how this is going to challenge the life? Are we Mary, whose heart is broken? Or one of those soldiers who stand by implementing the unjust laws, and so on and so forth? What does the story of the cross say to you about your life at this time? Allow the Spirit to speak to you through these two lenses, to understand something of what it means to be a king in the mould of Jesus Christ the King. How do you respond to this eternal gift of Christ our King? Try to enter into this mystery this week. It's an important way of looking at the world. Have a good week. See ya.